In this video, we'll take a look at the line continuation characters. I almost put this in the previous video because it's somewhat similar. Well, for one thing, the symbol it used is the same. However, that's not always true in most languages, so I did decide to go ahead and separate them. Most languages will have a symbol that is used with more than one symbol, but it's used for multiple purposes. Python is no different than those other languages. The slash is indeed what they call overloaded. It just means that there's multiple versions of it. One of the ways you can use the slash is to tell Python to ignore a carriage return in your code and just consider it as a single line of code. Now that's a little harder to explain than it is to demonstrate, so let me just get to demonstrating it. I'll put some code in here, just like here on the little document I made, and I'll go ahead and run it. And Python, of course, will just print out the word test. We've seen that before. Life is good. Now, let me go ahead and see if I can break it a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and do this and see if Python's happy with me. Still happy, still working. So other variations, what if I did this? Would Python still be happy with me? Cool. What if I did this? It did run, it did give an error message, but it didn't do anything. That's interesting. So, could I go ahead and type out my code somewhat like this? Now, you may see this in other languages. A lot of times I'll see it in things like the SQL database language, or maybe in some JavaScript code. As you can see, Python's pretty happy with that. So this one does not work. I thought we just saw it did work. I think that's a flaw in my notes. Let's hope not. Yeah, actually we just saw that it did not work. It just didn't give us an error message. Okay. So not getting an error message, but I'm also not getting my answer. So the way you can actually fix that, if you would, is to put a line continuation character, and you can see now the thing runs. I don't use it in Python very much. It's interesting. Python, as you know from this week, considers invisible carriage returns and spaces to be important. For example, if I go through and I say if 5 is equal to 5, forgot the colon there, then do something. Python wants me to indent that code. It will not be happy if I don't. So that establishes that Python does care about spaces, invisible spaces. But it also cares about carriage return, which are also invisible, but also necessary. Again, you can get around that behavior by putting this line continuation character in there. I don't know how often you'll use it, but let's say that you're reading code by other people, that written by other people, and the line of code they had was so long that they wanted to break it up into something a little shorter. So when that happens, you may see that line continuation character just kind of floating out there. And when you do, this video hopefully will have helped you understand what that symbol means. Next on the list, we're going to take a look at overloaded methods and what that means. See you then.